That's not English, Brian. It's German.
So what I told you is true, from a certain point of view.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to A Certain Point of View here on a Monday evening. We are excited. We are ready. Very, very exciting show we have for you tonight. As you can see, all four of us are officially back on the same screen. It's been forever, but we are back here to not just do our regularly planned show, but also celebrate that everything is Pride Month, obviously. And we have a really cool topic to do tonight. So hope everyone's doing fantastic out there. Thank you guys so much for joining us live here every Monday evening at 6 o'clock Pacific. We're going to see how everybody's doing before we move on. Jill, how you doing today?
Hello. It's a Monday. Yeah.
Okay.
I had a lot of meetings today. My boss is going to be out for the next 3 weeks because she's going to be in Scotland. So my next 3 weeks are either going to be absolute hell or really, really easy. We're going to find out. We'll see what happens.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. I got my weekly Pride shirt of the week. It says It says "Sounds gay." I'm in.
Yay!
And I decided, Molly got me these for Christmas like 2 years ago. I decided I will only light these candles during Pride Month. My Trixie and Katya church candles. Praise be. Just chilling. I made dinner that I haven't eaten yet, so it's just chilling in the kitchen. My hands smell like garlic.
What'd you make?
I made like a Mediterranean like pasta. It has like artichokes and tomatoes and like olive oil and garlic. And
I like that olive oil was one of the ingredients that you mentioned.
Well, because it's what you make the sauce with, olive oil.
I know it's olive, but I'm just saying oil in general goes with almost everything that you make these days. They're
like, make sure you get nice olive oil, and I'm like, fuck that, and I'm just spending $40 on
it's too expensive
olive oil.
It's crazy how expensive olive oil is.
We'll see how it turns out, but it smells good. My hands smell good.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Mr. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I have so many like I was trying to figure out a funny retweet to like be like we're live.
You could have said the hi gay there.
I did. That's what I did. Yeah. For the record, I tried to get Jake to start the show by going hi gay like for TikTok, but he didn't want to.
It's not that I didn't want to. You know why?
I'm just gonna stop myself. And then I thought of like, if you're not watching this, it's a hate crime.
Wow.
Just other things like that. But you know,
that's aggressive.
That might be a little too aggressive.
That's a lot for a Monday.
Yeah.
It's a lot for a Monday.
And Miss Molly, how are you doing?
I'm good. I feel very just like chill and mellow after taking so much time away from technology and like the internet and everything. It felt pretty nice to just get away.
We legit didn't hear from you in their message for like a week.
I didn't have
silence.
I didn't have any cell service. Every resort that we ended up at, they were like, "Yeah, we have Wi-Fi." No, they didn't.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi did not work. There were no TVs in the rooms. Like there was nothing to do.
That's awesome.
Be outside and sleep.
You went to Yellowstone, right?
Went to Yellowstone.
On the list.
Went to the Grand Tetons, which is in Wyoming, for the last like two days that we were out there. But yeah, we were there for like 6 days.
What are the Grand Tetons?
Mountains.
Other than a great name that I should call Jill from now on.
Wow. My new
my God.
My new contact name in your phone.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's just a mountain range in Wyoming.
Oh, fair enough.
It's a national park too, but it's fairly new.
I've wanted to go to Yellowstone for so long. I'm super jealous.
It was
Super jealous.
pretty cool. I don't have it in
Yeah.
here, but I ended up getting a book called Death in Yellowstone because
Oh,
you'd be shocked at the amount of people who die in awful accidents in those hot springs.
Oh, I've heard.
People are just stupid. That's why.
Well,
It's not even accidents. It's usually just people just being morons.
Yeah.
it's
dumb.
so crazy because like everywhere you go, there's just like a boardwalk and the hot springs are right there. There's no railing. There's no fence.
there's hot
You could just
springs.
fall in and then be boiled to death.
Ooh,
Oh.
boy.
So wait, so Molly, you're telling me
There's not hot springs.
you clearly went to the most Star Wars related place in the country.
Is that Star Warsy?
No railings?
No railings, being
oh.
boiled alive.
No
Yeah,
railings? I mean,
it's true. There's just signs that are like, don't touch the hot water. It's real hot. It'll kill you.
okay, the second someone reads that, 50% of people would be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch it."
It looks like just a hot tub in the earth, but it's like literally being boiled by lava.
Ooh.
Don't touch it.
Yeah,
Don't touch it.
that's awesome. That's really, really cool.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's on the list. I've always wanted to visit. Obviously gorgeous, but like you said, it's just desolate. It's out of the way. You don't really have contact with people. It's quiet, which is
Very
the biggest
quiet.
part. So that's awesome. All right,
I'd go
let's
crazy.
what?
I said I'd go crazy.
Oh, yeah. Well, most people would, especially in this day. But
Mhm.
all right, let's dive into this. Let's start this. Let's get into this right off the bat because it's probably going to be a very long discussion. We're touching every possible section of media that we can when it comes to pride with movies and television, video games, books, characters in general, anything that we can kind of just bring up and talk about, discuss. We're going to do it. Chat, of course. Please, throw yours in there. You can hit the Streamlabs link. You can leave a super chat, and we will discuss those if you guys have questions or comments regarding the topic as well. Anybody want to go first? Does anybody want to bring up someone or a thing, a title that we can kind of just discuss about it openly?
I'll go completely, not even completely left field, but I'll talk about something that I even just thought about today. I think it was my first time I saw a gay character in media. It was when I was in high school. For anyone who watched Degrassi back in like 2010 to like 2014, like Marco coming out to Spinner was like one of the best things in television. And I think it was the first time I personally had seen like gay representation in media. And it was the best. And Marco was like one of the best characters in Degrassi. And
Is that the original Degrassi?
not the original from the 80s, but like Degrassi the Next Generation.
With
So,
Drake.
like, with Drake, yeah.
Okay.
I was just telling
Audrey
Alex
Graham, yes.
about this show because I was like, oh yeah, Drake was in that show in the 90s. And he was like, wait, what show? And I was like, what was it called? And I looked it up and I was like, oh yeah, Degrassi. And he was like, wait, Drake was in that? And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. I showed him a picture and he was like, oh my God.
He gets shot in the back and gets paralyzed.
My
Mhm.
sister was ridiculously obsessed with Degrassi. It was on, my younger sister, it was on constantly in the
Attract.
household. Like Blu-ray or the DVDs, like just on rerun the entire time. So I've had plenty of experience with the show before. But I
It
didn't know
was like-
that. So.
It was like Euphoria before Euphoria, but like realistic, like
Mhm.
actual real like people and real life like situations. And I want to know where it's streaming so I can rewatch like all 7 of those.
What channel was it on? Was it a was that
It was on.
It's like one of the paid channels.
It was on. Oh my god, what was it on?
let's see.
I don't even remember.
It's on Tubi.
Is it on Tubi now? Is it on anything else that I can watch?
There you go. Tubi's free.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm a do a Degrassi rewatch.
It says Google says networks. It's a Teen Nick, Family Channel, Much, MTV, and CTV television network.
Teen
Yeah,
Nick.
it was a Canadian show.
It was a Canadian show original. I mean, it was a Canadian show.
Oh my god! It ran for 14 seasons.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Combined, though, wasn't it?
380. No, just for the Next Generation. 385 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then you
my
see
God.
them like literally grow up. Like it's wild.
And this was. Oh my god! season 10, 11, and 12, they had over 40 episodes in each season.
That's so many.
44, 45, and
Jesus.
40 in 3
So
consecutive seasons.
It was a soap opera, essentially.
It was basically
Yeah.
a teenage soap opera.
Crazy.
It was great, but it like dealt with everything. It dealt with like teenage pregnancy and it like the like coming out and
So would you say
relationships.
it's not the exact one, but a show from that time that was a blueprint for a lot of shows that followed? And what I mean by like
yeah.
followed, like how about Secret Life of American Teenager, which dealt with pregnancy.
Mhm.
And then you have shows, it's obviously a lot more dramatized, but maybe a show like Riverdale wouldn't have worked without Degrassi happening many years beforehand, you know? Like, it seems like it very much laid the groundwork for a lot of shows to follow.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it talked about like real life scary issues that like people wouldn't talk about. They actually had an episode in Canada that back in the day they didn't air in America because it was like so still really taboo. It was an episode about abortion, and they like didn't air it in America for like a long time. So like even back when it was on, like they didn't even air all the episodes because it was so just ahead of its time. Yeah.
I think Secret Life of American Teenager might have been the first show to do that in America. Sorry.
Probably.
With like the abortion stuff. Because that show, my sisters watched it. It was always on at the household. But that show was like, everyone was talking about that show.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get off topic, but.
This is the one that I was going to bring up for me. Willow and Buffy, or Willow from Buffy was one of the first like lesbian representation in TV that I ever saw, and I was just like, this is the best. And I forget when that started, like what year she came out as a lesbian. I was going to
ask if that character was a main character.
Yeah, Willow is definitely a main character, but she didn't, like, she dated dudes first, and then she came out as gay later in the show. But it was like one of the first network television shows to have an openly lesbian relationship in it, I think. But spoilers for Buffy.
Spoiler alert.
The show was in the 90s.
So. You never know.
I mean, Jill just said that Drake got shot in Degrassi, so...
Well, that's like the same kind of lore as like Snape kills.
Spoilers, Jill!
Like, everyone knows that
he's
shot in Degrassi.
There's so many...
I mean, when you have over 300 episodes, there's, whatever at that point, right?
Fair.
Spoiler alert, Drake is shot in the back.
I'm trying to think what, like, my first one...
So I'm not gonna go by I won't go by like my number one. I'll just kind of name them off. I'm gonna name one very quickly because it's what I'm currently watching, and I don't know if everyone has watched it, but Brian obviously has. But Lafayette in True Blood is a character.
The best.
Yes.
The best.
And that's just because it's recency bias with me. I'm obviously trying my best to watch True Blood right now. But yeah, Lafayette in there. I wanted to bring up probably one of my favorite shows on television, period, right now. But I think Sex Education does a really, really good job.
That was on my list.
The LGBTQ community in general. There's a lot of it in the show, not just doing it to do it either. Like the way that they tell the stories with the characters, main characters and supporting characters that kind of pop in and don't pop in. It seems like one of the best that I've seen recently. And not just like doing it to do it again, but really developing it and diving into it much more than other shows and movies would. So,
I love those. I was gonna say Nelson Ellis is who played Lafayette. He passed away in 2007.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
2000. I can't remember.
Was it during the show?
No, it was after.
Not 2007. Okay. That's when the show came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's when the show. It must have been like
it was only
2010.
I think it was like 5 years ago.
What's his name? Nelson Ellis.
Nelson Ellis. I saw him actually speak on a panel about True Blood at DragonCon one year.
2017.
17, yeah.
17.
Nailed it. 5 years.
And the woman who plays Pam, I met her in a bathroom at DragonCon.
Oh, Pam!
Wait, who's Pam in True Blood?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've met Pam yet.
Oh, you may not have met her yet.
I think you would meet Pam in season 3.
I'm dealing with some wacky shit in this show right now, you guys. It is.
Are you in season 1 or 2?
I'm in season 2.
Oh, I love
it is
season
just,
2.
It
I
is.
told him the first 3.
What's her name from Battlestar in it? Admiral Kane?
The girl that plays Marianne.
Yeah.
The villain. Yeah.
Mm.
Just wild. Anyway, just anybody paying attention to my Twitter, I'm talking about True Blood. I'm trying my best to stay through it right now, but that's it. So
I was reminded of another show that spoiler alert for you because you haven't seen it, for The Legend of Korra.
Oh, okay. No spoilers. No spoilers.
I'll take my headphones out.
No, I'm not taking my headphones out, but okay, so clearly there's some gay
I don't
stuff
want to
going on in that
know.
show. No, I'm not.
It's at the thing is, it's at the very
I'm on
end.
mute, so tell me when you're done.
It's at the
We're not
very
talking
end.
about it.
Oh.
Yeah. Legend of Korra also has great, very surprising, and they like continued on in the books.
Okay, so that's an interesting question, or I guess comment, question, topic. Do you guys feel like we see it as much in animation, or do we need to see more?
No, we don't see it at all in animation.
That's what I was thinking. Is it doesn't?
I will say
no, over time, Brian. Not recently.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like
no,
it feels like we don't get it nearly enough of probably what we should get.
Well, in anime, it's there
in
a
anime,
lot.
it's there a lot.
Like other countries' animations, it's there.
So
America,
it's just
not so much.
a sucky US.
We're just so boring sometimes.
But yeah, more recently we've seen a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. More
especially
recently,
Harley.
The Harley Quinn show.
Harley Quinn. I think Big Mouth.
Big Mouth. Yeah, because one of the characters is bisexual in Big Mouth. Love that show. Good show.
I think.
And I'm trying to think of
Smithers. That's a good one.
Smithers. Smithers is gay.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think of other like animation.
Oh, there you go. She-Ra.
She-Ra has had good ones too. But like again, all recent. You know?
Mr. Slave from South Park. Mr. Garrison.
South Park.
I'm not a South Parker.
I love South Park.
All right, so we did get a super chat. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up to kind of put the conversation forward here. This was from Gio. Thank you, Gio. I've been first time watching Shameless, and Ian's character is honestly one of the most interesting gay character developments I've seen in a while. I haven't seen Shameless, so
I need to watch Shameless.
Never seen.
I literally watched that show for that storyline.
I know that Chef from Bear's in it. That's where he started.
Oh.
I guess that was his first show or first big show. And I also love the main lead, the girl, Emmy Rossum. Is that her name?
Emmy Rossum.
Emmy Rossum? I love her.
Never mind.
I only know her from Phantom of the Opera. She was in Phantom of the Opera.
I've seen a show that you have not. Yeah, Gab, yeah.
Shocker.
Well, to be fair, I was told my dad watched Shameless, or maybe it was my parents. Either way, they watched Shameless for a long time. But then I was hearing that towards the middle and end, it just fell off like hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like just was not the show. And that's a lot of shows. I think we've had the conversation here before about how short stints of television typically work out better. But I don't think I ever got around to it because it fell off so quickly or fell off hard. And I don't know because I've never watched it. So,
Schitt's Creek.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Still haven't seen it.
That show is hilarious.
Gabby has seen that. I haven't. Yeah, never seen it.
You would love it, Jake.
God.
It's hilarious.
So good. That show is in probably my top 5 favorite shows of all time.
And it's great to rewatch too. It's
a fall asleep to show.
Yeah, they're shorter episodes. It's it's quippy, it's fun, it's not.
Well, Jake's never been like a sitcom ish like that.
I'm not a huge sitcom.
True, but
Jake, I hate that type, and I love. Well,
I mean, New Girl is my favorite sitcom of all time. I watched. I mean, I know they're all vastly different, but I did watch things like That 70s Show. Obviously, Boy Meets World I've talked about before, so I'll give it a try eventually when I stop watching the other shows I'm watching. But I can't guarantee that I'll like it.
I think if you like New Girl, if you like happy endings, you would like this.
Okay, I like both those.
Jake, I'm with you with the sitcoms. I hate sitcoms.
I'm not gonna say I hate it, but
I do. I don't.
It's
mind
hard for me to
saying
get
that.
into.
I just don't like it. But that show was it's just so funny. So
I don't know if I would
is-
call Schitt's Creek a sitcom though. It doesn't have a laugh
It
track or
doesn't-
anything.
yeah. It doesn't.
Well, I was just gonna ask. So sitcoms usually, most of the time, are episode by episode with like a story kind of weaved in every once in a while. Is this like one fluid story, or is it episode by episode?
There's a main overarching reason the story is being told, but then they have
See, a lot of
certain
sitcoms don't
things-
do that though. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I'd say that this has a main storyline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like there's a main path, but like little stories happening in like what's going on with their lives.
Mhm.
So, for me, I think my first real like into it show would have been Will and Grace.
Is that what
I-
Samir said? Jack and Will? Is that what he brought up?
Oh, is that what it?
Those,
You said
yeah,
Jack
those
and
are
Will.
those are the two the
Is
main
that Will and Grace?
gay men
yeah,
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
show.
Okay.
Yeah, I to this day that show
Isn't that a sitcom?
Yes.
That definitely is.
Oh
a
yeah,
sitcom.
technically. Okay, so then there's
Very much. Not
There's-
technically. That is very
Yeah.
much.
That is a sitcom, right?
so
Yes.
that's one. Okay, that's the only one that because I like Parks and Rec, all that stuff. It's not my jam, but Will and Grace, like, and it's funny because for me that was like one of the only shows I ever like was comfortable watching around my parents because my parents thought it was so funny that it didn't matter that two of the main characters were gay. So it was kind of just like my like in of like getting to watch something without like what are they gonna think?
Yeah.
But it's so
It has gotten a lot of hate just because for that time period, the gayness of it all was very kind of like
stereotypical.
it is well,
stereotypical, jokey. Like it never really got very deep, but doesn't mean it wasn't a good show, and it was still really funny.
I mean, the
Damn,
guy
it ran
that
for
played-
11 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, like even came back.
It came
like,
back
2
for a little
years
bit.
ago for like they tried to reboot it, but it just didn't. People weren't into it.
Yeah.
I think also a lot of people have a problem with the fact that Will, what was played by a straight actor,
Yeah.
and Jack, the guy that plays what's his name?
Sean Hayes. Is that him?
Sean Hayes. Yeah,
Mhm.
Sean Hayes, the guy that played Jack, didn't come out until after the show, which whatever. But like
Look at the time that it was, though.
Yeah.
exactly, and I mean he was saying he wasn't gay, which
Oh,
no.
but again,
I mean,
look at the time. You know.
Yeah.
again, yeah, but I mean, anyone that watched that show knew, or
Just
at least, yeah, it was like, but yeah, no, love that show. To this day, I could just pop on an episode and it's still just as funny.
Yeah.
So
We've kind of been on a little bit of a TV kick. Are there any other major TV?
yes, I made a list for me of movies, TV, and books. I'm not gonna like
Okay.
talk about each of them, but for me, we said Will and Grace, Schitt's Creek. Another one I've talked about this on the show before. Sense8. I will say this: for me personally, Netflix does the best representation stuff. Disney's the worst.
Well,
obviously.
color me shocked.
Yeah, Disney's the worst, but Netflix tends to be where I find most of.
Yeah.
HBO does some too.
HBO and Netflix
HBO has been doing it for a long time. So
for
Yeah.
a lot longer.
That's
Yeah.
fair, but
They just Brian. I think to your point, they don't do it whereas not a lot, but a majority of the shows that you're talking about are LGBTQ fronted. Like it's in the spotlight, whereas shows like
Yeah.
Euphoria, like it's in there, but it's not like the header of the show. Or
Yeah.
The Last of
that's
Us,
fair.
like it's in there, but it's not the header of the show.
That's fair. I mean, HBO did do a show that I have on my list called Looking. It only lasted like 3 seasons, but that was a good one. Well, and then HBO also bought the rights to a show called The Other Two, which is really funny. But the rest for me all come from Netflix. So Hollywood, which was made by the guy that does American Horror Story.
Ryan Murphy?
Yes, Ryan Murphy. Thank you. Couldn't think of his name. Sense8 was ahead of its time. Jake said Sex Education, which is great. Heartstopper, we already know how much I'm obsessed with that. But then the very last one, and I think I'm the only one that's watched this show, and it's not a streaming show. Pose.
Oh yeah.
If
I
you
need
have
to binge
never,
that one.
that show did stuff like to me emotionally that I did not like. I was just like, it made me appreciate all the people that came before me in the community and like how horrible it must have been to live through the AIDS crisis and stuff like that. Like it started conversations for me. Like one day, like I went up to my mom and I was like, what was it like? And she was like, terrifying. Like people were afraid to touch each other, like everything. It is one of the only shows where I just bawled. It was just like, it's so hard to watch, but like almost like it should be almost required to watch if you're in the queer community. So it's just, yeah, if you haven't watched Pose, it will open your eyes to a lot.
Do you know where it is, Brian? Streaming?
FX is the one that made it.
Hulu?
So yeah, probably Hulu.
All FX stuff usually lands on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. I just put it in there. Okay. So yeah, I cannot recommend. Know what you're getting into. It has funny, but it is there to. Yeah, it is there.
Well, that's FX essentially backbone. That's what they do most of the time.
Yeah, it's there to hit you in the heart. Like, so be prepared if you're going into it, but it's phenomenal.
All right, let me get to one of these super chats that we have available here. This one comes from Emil. Thank you, Emil. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Black Sails has my favorite gay character by far, and it's really important to the story too. Yeah, Black Sails is awesome. I think I've talked about it on here plenty times. Andy has mentioned it in the chat a ton as well.
Belly watched that.
Yeah, and it's a great pirate story that has again, like you said, a main character.
That's the Taika Waititi one.
No, that's the one that she's. What's the name of that one, Molly?
Our Flag Means Death.
Our Flag Means Death is
yeah.
Okay.
Black Sails started in 2014, so it's been around for a while.
Yeah, it ran for a couple seasons. Well, I guess 4 seasons. And it's important to the story of actually what's happening. I never even thought about that, so thank you again for bringing that up. That's a great one there. All right, sticking with TV, ladies and Brian, of course. You got to talk about the two top dogs, right? In Queer Eye and Drag Race.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
I haven't seen either of them. You three.
Jake trying to throw.
Jake, you need to watch. Okay, you need to at least watch Queer Eye, just because it'll. If you're in a bad mood, just put on an episode of Queer Eye, and it'll make you.
Even I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, that's
okay.
No, okay. This
I watched the.
Unfortunate.
I watched
Hashtag
the
crimes.
original.
Hashtag crimes.
I watched the original.
I did too.
Oh, I did too. Oh, I still
fact,
quote the original. Like I'll say, shout it out, get out, all the
So
time.
Brian has his homework essentially.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you need to. If you are in a bad mood, watch freaking Queer Eye.
It's
It's
so good, and
bullying me.
Alex
I'm bullying
loves
you.
it. Like whenever a new season pops up, we get so excited and we sit and watch it together and we cry about it. It is
Oh,
so
I cried this season for sure.
it gets so emotional and the
Wait,
stories
so,
are
okay,
so good.
I gotta ask because like I've obviously seen it come across my screen and stuff. Is Queer Eye a written show?
No.
So
So
can you elevator pitch me
yes.
Queer
So
Eye?
synopsis. So it
Okay.
is 5 gay men. It is Tan, Jonathan, Anthony.
Which one did I put on the thumbnail?
That is Tan. That is Tan
Okay.
France. There's
I just found a
Karamo
photo
and
and-
Bobby. So and they all have different like they're the so Bobby is the home decor, home reno guy. Tan is the fashion guy. Jonathan does the hair. Karamo is like the kind of like the self-help guru. Anthony is the chef. And so with the OG season, like from like 10, 15 years ago, it was Queer Eye for the straight guy. So it was so like the people they would help would only be straight men. With this one, they do anybody of any gender, of any sexual orientation, and they really do people who like they help people who are very involved in their communities, and they help like give them self-confidence and help them like be like it's great.
So is it like a makeover show?
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
a makeover show.
Okay.
Yeah.
They come in and like they spend a week or two with them, and it's like each one will kind of take the person aside, and Tan will take them shopping and tell them this is how to shop for your body type, and then Jonathan will tell them how to moisturize and like cut and style their hair, and Karamo will basically like tell you everything that's wrong in your life and tell you that it's okay and make you cry.
A therapy session
And,
yeah,
like-
with tears everywhere.
But what I love is like in the past 2 seasons, the age range has gotten so much wider.
Yes.
They'll do like much older people and some just super young people. They did a guy in the most recent season who is in a wheelchair that I don't think have ever. No, they did
no,
one
they
other.
did the season before. They also did a gentleman in a wheelchair.
They did do that, but he was pretty young, the most recent
Yeah.
guy, and so like they've really expanded the range of people that they go on there to help, and they do it in different cities too.
Each
It's so
season's different city. Yeah, this season was Nolans, so that was fun. Yeah, it's great. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I still have it. I didn't think I did, but it's literal
Oh my god!
CD.
Is that the
from-
show or is that like the soundtrack?
Yeah, the show. It's like the soundtrack to the show.
Oh,
Like,
I
it
see.
says,
Chopped.
what's the what?
Jake, do you watch Chopped on Food Network?
I used to. I don't watch it as much anymore.
The
but I
host of
used to.
Chopped was one of the OG.
Oh,
Mhm.
Queer Eye guys.
yeah, that's right.
that-
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was the
okay.
he was the food guy of the OG Queer Eye.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, Carson Kressley, who was the OG fashion person, is now a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
Oh,
How this didn't tip off my family? I don't still. Like,
oh because Queer Eye.
there's certain things I'm like, really? You didn't catch that? Like, come on.
And then everyone needs to watch RuPaul's Drag Race. Just
Yeah, that's just.
it's
We
just
finally
great.
bullied Molly into it, and look what happened.
It didn't take that much bullying. I have always wanted to watch it. I just never like sat down. Honestly, I needed someone to tell me where to start because
Got
I
you.
think I started at season 1 and it
Don't
was
do that.
one's kind of rough, so I think
Don't
that's
start
why
with season 1.
I
Don't do
needed
that.
help.
I'm curious why not start at season 1? Isn't that typically what we do with TV shows?
It's hot garbage. So they have like this
Okay.
filter on it where it's like this like blurry orange, like really odd choice of like film filter, and it just makes it look terrible. It's not good.
It
Let's
had
see-
a lot
let's
of
see what
growing
Google says.
pains, the
Yeah.
show.
It was
So-
trying to find itself, and it's if you watch RuPaul, start with like season 4.
Yeah.
And now it's an empire.
Now it's an empire.
Yeah.
It's an
I can't-
empire.
If I always like
Oh,
whenever
Jake,
I'm down,
there's,
I will listen
like-
to Read You Wrote You, and I've had GODDESS, which is Shasta Colby's song, in my head for the past like 9 days.
I'm
RuPaul
still
is
walking
like
that fucking duck.
Well, that
RuPaul is one of the most celebrated and accomplished entrepreneurs
Mm-hmm.
of all time.
That filter,
That filter, yeah, that's pork chop.
Yeah.
her name or her
Yeah.
name is Pork Chop.
Yeah, that's pork chop.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
That's
The
their
first
drag
e-
name is pork chop.
first
The first queen to
ever-
get eliminated.
Do you think
in
she watched
RuPaul's-
Star Wars? Porkins?
No.
Yeah, that's pork
That's-
chop.
She's just the first ever drag queen to get eliminated.
She
Oh,
pops
really?
back- she pops back in from time to time. Yeah, yeah. That's
She
true.
has. She
made-
holds the record.
They made fun of her for like 3 seasons.
Every
Ah,
once in a while, they'll
they
still
still
throw a
do.
jab in.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's, yeah.
Oh, pork chop.
All right, I'm gonna get to Jane's super chat next, but I did want to bring up. It's been mentioned a couple times in the chat. We can quickly touch on The Last of Us. Obviously, something that was very recent. Not just with Bella Ramsey and her character, or their character, but Bill and Frank as well, and the
Mhm.
whole episode that dealt with all of that. Obviously, a very. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's the first time ever done as far as like a full length episode, but it was one of the first experiences I think we ever got of a major motion television show ever doing something like that, and it's regarded as the best episode of the entire season.
I'd even say one of the best episodes in television.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they took it from the game that it was kind of like, is it or is it not?
Hinted at, not
It
even
was
like full on confirmed.
Just kind of hinted, and they took that and they ran with it in a direction that nobody expected, but
Mhm.
it made it 1,000 million times better. It just it was like such a good love story. Besides the fact that it was 2 men, it was just such a pure and good love story, and they didn't have to do that, but
No.
because they did, I was like, this is good, the great TV. Like,
I cried so hard.
I did too.
I cried so hard. Like,
Bill
Well,
and
it's
Frank.
cool. It's cool because like a lot of television companies or studios, if they had a property like Last of Us, they'd be like, okay, you guys are given 8 episodes. You know, do what you can, write your episodes. And I don't know if this is exactly what happened, but in my eyes, I'm looking at it saying HBO probably gave them 1 extra episode just to tell this story because it was 9 episodes. You rarely see a season that's 9 episodes. It's either like 8, 10.
it's an
A
even
9 is a
number.
very interesting number to land on. And then when you go back and
Never
look,
seen that.
you look at it and you're like, well, they spent an entire episode from start to finish with Bill and Frank when Pedro and Bella were only in it for maybe 5 minutes.
Mhm.
The studio said, yeah, do it. Like this, tell that story, which is super
Yeah.
cool to see.
And it's
Yeah.
so good too because it's not even just a gay romance, heartbreaking, ripping, emotional story. It paves the way for how important just relationships in general are in that world. So it wasn't just like let's just have this random one shot of an episode just because
Mhm.
it really paved the way for how important relationships and forming strong bonds in that world are. And I don't know if I can watch it again just because I don't think I can handle crying.
They took so many relationships and elevated them. So
Yes.
there's that one, and then Ellie, like showing the girl that she was in the mall with, like showing more details. For
Riley,
that
is that her
story.
name? Riley, right?
Yeah.
Riley?
I think
Think
so.
Showing that was really important. The little boy, I forget his name, that they made deaf.
Oh, who gets yeah, the little deaf
Oh.
boy. Yeah.
Henry.
Henry, yeah, because
Right.
he wasn't deaf in the game, so like just the little tweaks that they made such a huge difference for everyone.
Question, just topic of Last of Us real quick, and you can say yes or no, but I imagine Ellie, that her relationships come back into the fold in the story, right?
What do you mean her relationships?
Like, do we get to
Her
see more
being-
of her being gay with other young girls possibly in the show? Is that in the story? Yes or
Jake, you're on shaky
no? Okay,
ground.
fine.
Oh, it's like my lips are sealed.
Okay, fine.
No spoilers allowed.
Fair enough.
There's some
Um,
pretty big. I mean, that's
Just he's touching on
All
ground.
I was looking for was a yes or no. And that's it. Sorry.
yeah. That's all
Okay.
of the second game.
Oh, okay,
Jake.
cool, perfect.
That's,
Sweet.
there's no
So
way
you'll
around.
be seeing a lot more.
Cool.
There's
Cool,
there's no real way around that as a
No, you're
spoiler.
good. You're good. You're good.
So yeah.
All right, before we move into movies, because we haven't talked about movies at all, I want to read Jane's super chat here. Thank you so much for the donation, Jane.
Hi,
Mentioning some of my favorite
Jane.
queer characters from way back in the day: Hollywood, Montrose from Mannequin, Clayton, Blanche's brother from the Golden Girls, and Howard and Ed as the
Blanche's
first ever gay married couple on TV in the 1970s.
Oh my god, I forgot about Blanche's brother.
So did I.
Golden Girls, to be fair, Golden Girls was also very much ahead of its time.
Golden Girl-
Like,
Yeah.
so he's gay, whatever. Like, who gives a shit? Like,
They were a bunch
show-
of old lesbians, let's be
they
honest.
were a bunch of old lesbians.
That show is gay. The whole
Yeah.
entire thing.
Oh,
Everything
yeah.
about it.
yeah.
Everything about it. 100%.
There's a reason why a vast majority of the Golden Girls fans are the gays.
Yep.
Mhm. Literally.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about some movies. Not just because movies are obviously a big part of it, but here on POV specifically, regarding our Patreon, which I'm going to do a shameless plug, our watch along poll, which will be coming very soon, will be related to this topic, and our trivia for the month is related to this topic. So, does anybody want to start with a couple titles or name one specifically? Brian, looks like you may want to.
I have a little thing to say before I get into it. I have a hard time with movies. For whatever reason, Hollywood just seems they can't make a movie for the queer community without it having to have a dramatic, heartbreaking ending where it just rips your soul out. I can literally only think of maybe 2 or 3 off the top of my head where you leave happy. All the ones I am like, oh, this looks really good, and they always rip your heart out of your chest at the end of it. So I personally have always shifted more towards TV than movies for that reason. I do have a decent list, but if you generally go and look, keep that in mind if you watch a couple of them. Notice that there tends to always be a not happy ending. Like, to be honest, so Bros, one of the most recent ones, we can say without a question that some people like that movie and some people hate it. But for me, it was one of the first times that I got to watch a movie like this, a gay rom-com, where the ending was someone didn't die, they didn't never see each other again, something like that. It was just your cut and dry happy ending, rom-com happy ending. So I'm appreciative of that movie in general. So, I mean, like I said, I have a list, but just when you think about stuff with movies specifically, they tend to always have a more serious ending rather than just giving us our happy ending. I shouldn't have said that. Wording was weird.
Phrasing.
Yeah, phrasing. But no, Bros for me was hilarious. Be it what's his face was a little annoying, but
Billy Eichner.
yes, thank you. And then what was my other one? Oh, so I have 2 other ones that are more lesser known ones. One that came out this year called In From the Side, and that was really good. That's actually more of a sports movie,
Oh.
Yeah, it follows like a gay rugby team.
Oh, cool.
So again, kind of follows though what I said. And then another one is called, which actually I think is made low rumblings in award season when the year came out, was called God's Own Country. It's a European film that has what is his name? He's the dude he's in a decent amount of stuff, the white guy. He's in The Crown. He is in what's his name? I'm just gonna look it up.
Josh O'Connor.
Josh O'Connor, yeah. He was in The Crown. He's in Emma. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. And that one was really good. Really good.
Yeah, I've heard that one's good. That one's on my list of things to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say all of mine, so if someone else has other stuff too.
You mentioned Pose, so I will mention Paris is Burning, which is a documentary very close to what Pose is about. It's like the 80s subculture, New York City, like that whole thing. I haven't seen it, but I have been meaning to watch it, and it's like it's very highly rated on like Rotten Tomatoes and everything. So that one's a documentary though, so keep that in mind.
I'll allow a documentary.
Another one I had on my list was Carol. That one was in 2015. It's got Cate Blanchett and what's her name?
Rooney Mara.
Yeah. That one like surprised me how much I liked that movie. I had to watch it twice because it just like blew me away how much I enjoyed it, and it's really, really good.
I agree. It's a very good movie. It was in the awards running for almost everything. It's
that has a lot of people in it.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a Christmas movie too. So
if I'm not mistaken, is Joel Edgerton the husband?
No.
Or am I thinking of someone else? Who am I thinking of?
Jack Lacey.
Jack.
It's the guy from White Lotus. Kind of looks like him.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's not necessarily the movie, but I did want to mention a character because I had to do some research, obviously, just to make sure I was, in the right wavelengths and kind of remembering. But to a very classic comedy, Damien from Mean Girls.
Oh my god!
Awesome character.
Yeah,
great character. Yep. Obviously, very heavily supporting character in the movie. In there in moments, but when he's in there, makes a big impact. So I wanted to
Jake, you went with me. I forget who else, and saw Love, Simon.
It's probably Gabby.
Yeah, I think so. That was the first time I've gotten to see like a movie like that in a movie theater. And you
Love, Simon was very good. It's a very good movie, and it has a lot of big names in it. I was iffy on it at first because I'm forgetting the main character's actual name. Nick Robinson. I wasn't a fan of him in Jurassic World. He was in Jurassic World, and then he got casted in that, and then he turned around, and then he also was in a Hulu show with Kate Mara about a student and a teacher, where he was incredible in. But as far as Love, Simon goes, that was a very good story, and I didn't know anything about it. I know it's based on a book. Obviously, then spun off into a TV show with Love, Victor. Love, Victor. Definitely one of the more recent ones for sure.
I don't know if mine are stereotypical because they're both musicals. But you gotta go with the classic that is Rocky Horror Picture Show, and also the musical film based off the Broadway musical, based off the movie by Mel Brooks, which is the producers. They have an entire song called Keep It Gay, and it is one of the best musical theater performances of all time. It's wonderful. It's a treat. I love that movie so much. Yeah, I need to rewatch both of those.
Rocky Horror is a classic. I know a lot. It's not for some people.
It
Like
is not for everybody.
I know Alex doesn't really care for it, but
Sean doesn't care.
I grew up watching it. Like I watched it at a pretty young age, and I was
Me
like,
too.
"What is this? Are there more
Magic.
movies like this? Can I
It's
watch all of them?"
I
Meatloaf
mean,
just shows up for like a song. Like Meatloaf just appears out of nowhere. Like what? Come on, it's great. It's a masterpiece.
Jim Curry can do no wrong.
No, he can't. He's so hot in that movie.
Tim Curry. What did I say? Jim Curry?
Jim. I was gonna allow it because it sounded very close to Tim when you said it.
Tim
So,
Curry's he's so hot in that movie.
I worked
never
out too
seen
hard
it.
today, guys.
good for you.
It's
You
I've
haven't
never
seen it?
so
It's
no.
on my. I mean, I've seen it, but it's on that 100 movie thing you gave me.
Watch along.
Well, so I'll just just again shamelessly plugging.
You two, 2 times tonight have both done this at the exact same time.
I'll do it next time they do
It's
it.
both times
I'm
you
hot.
guys have done this.
It's
the
because
exact same time.
because I'm sitting in a recliner tonight. I'm in a different chair, so I
Okay.
feel more comfortable.
He's
I
so
was-
comfy.
Drinking tea, so I got hot. So I had a
This is
little.
our, this is
Stare
our
out.
brand new. It's our brand new nursery recliner.
Oh baby,
Show us around.
No, I'm not going to. So
I'm not now.
speaking of Rocky Horror Picture Show, that will be one of the movies in the watch along poll for the patrons.
Rocky.
Not going to reveal the other two, but that will be one of them. And then we mentioned Love, Simon. And so for this month's bar trivia, we're going to do a little bit more recent movies in Love, Simon, and Booksmart will be the 2 bar trivia movies for this month.
If we choose Rocky Horror, I will bring props. Like they do when they do the stage production. I will
Mhm.
bring props. So just remember that when you're voting.
They still do that at the Plaza, the theater that me and Alex sponsored on May 4th. They do a midnight Friday night show of Rocky Horror every week.
Yep.
And everyone brings
Every
props.
week?
Yeah, props. Yeah, every
Yeah,
week.
you always props.
Wow, that's
Yep.
crazy. Not like once a month, like every week.
Every week.
Yeah, the Rocky Horror
Holy.
live shows are like, and people will go every week. Like
That's
it's
wild.
like their Friday night evening.
It's
like
it's comfort food.
yes, yeah.
Jeez.
Go during your first time. It's great. They do a whole like ritual.
They might bring you up on stage though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will.
And if you're good looking, they're gonna put you in the gold pants.
The gold
guy.
undies.
Love
Yeah.
those.
I have other ones if we want to throw them out too.
Go ahead.
Brian S just threw that one out. That's what I was gonna say.
I've
he
never
said-
seen Call Me by Your Name.
It's good.
I don't think you would like it, but
Well, I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch it again just because of Ari Hammer. So
that's what sucks because he's actually really good in it.
I
too.
liked Army Hammer a lot, but I don't know
I
if I'll ever
know.
watch it. So
But I'll read what Brian said. Do you guys enjoy Call Me by Your Name? The last scene with Elio's father is a tearjerker. Yes, it is.
Perks of Being. I'm sorry to cut you off, Brian.
Perks
But
of being
Perks of Being a Wallflower. That movie screws me up emotionally. Like it is. I remember watching that when I was like in high school, and just the emotional stakes between all of the kids and everything.
Yeah, that movie.
Crazy good.
That movie
Crazy
hurts.
good.
That movie hurts. Hi, Sean.
Sean.
And then what else did I put? Fire Island was, if you want like a stupid funny, that was pretty good. I like crap. What's his name? Main guy that's on SNL. I'm gonna look it up.
Pete Davidson.
Still haven't seen that
no.
one.
Bowen Yang.
No, my go-to is Pete Davidson.
He's so funny. What else do I have? Birdcage, obviously. Freebird. Yeah. Freebird is like it's another like European-ish kind of one. But it's like about two people in the middle of World War II or one or some, I forget which one. It's some war, and it's based off a true story where I don't want to spoil it. So Freebird, and then Jake, I don't know know if you've watched this. Have you watched Boy Erased?
Is that the
It
Steve
had-
Carell one?
No, it has Nicole Kidman and Russell Crowe.
No, I haven't.
And
There were two that
Joel
came out at the same time. It was Boy Erased, and then there was another one that had Steve Carell.
Yeah, that one was.
And I saw the Steve Carell one.
Yeah, that one was. Oh, what's it called? It's The Beautiful Boy.
Yes, I saw that one.
I haven't seen Beautiful Boy. Boy Erased was really good. Joel Edgerton's in it also. And then what was my last one? Oh, Dom actually just put me on this movie the other day, Other People, which ironically takes place in Sacramento too. So it's a little fun. That one's a bit of a heart punch too. So but it was really good though.
Yeah, Jesse Plemons. That one's tough.
Yeah, Jesse Plemons, Molly Shannon. I don't know anyone else. Obviously, can't think of anyone.
I had 2 more on my list. Dallas Buyers Club was really good.
Yes.
I wish there were more actual gay people in it, but it was a great movie. And then Fear Street, specifically Part 3.
Oh, you're right. Good call.
Fear Street?
The Fear Street
Oh,
trio.
Fear Street.
The part 1.
I literally typed in Beer Street, and it's like
Fear Street.
I was like, nothing's coming up.
Did
No,
Bourbon
yeah.
Street come up?
It came with directions to some place.
Oh.
Street.
Those were the last 2 I had.
What was you said? Fear Street, and what was the other one?
Fear Street, specifically Part 3,
Okay.
and Dallas Buyers Club. was the
Oh,
other
Dallas Buyers Club. Yeah, you said it like that. Yeah, I think that I have tons of other ones if I actually went looking for it. Maybe I'll post my list of stuff.
Well, I mean, okay, so outside of movies and television, is there any type of media, books, video games, anything that you guys can think of that you'd like to bring up on top of this?
Once I came out, I went full blown I'm doing all the stuff that I was too afraid to do. And for me, that was books. Because obviously you don't want to just buy a stack of books that gives it away. So that was it's like, hey mom,
Why do you have all these copies of Heartstopper?
yeah, stuff like that. Actually, I didn't even think of that one on my list. But Heartstopper, if you want graphic novel type stuff, that's one of the only. Well, I guess I don't know if you can consider it a book.
It's a graphic novel.
Yeah, but I've reread them I don't even remember how many times at this point. So those are great. What else do I have? Oh, Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is coming out on Amazon Prime in August. They actually turned it into a movie because the book was so popular, and they made it rated R, which is shocking.
Ew.
So that means hopefully they're gonna actually do stuff to the book.
Do stuff.
It's not even it's actually pretty light on the spicy, but there's stuff. The Song of Achilles is if you like history, it kind of goes into the lore of Achilles is he had a lover, hence the movie was afraid to do Troy, where it was hinted at, but it didn't actually do anything. Mm-hmm. So if you actually want to kind of know the story, that is a really good book. Everything for You, loved that book. Wish they would turn that series into a movie or a TV show. The House in the Cerulean Sea.
Ew.
Is really good.
That's a title.
Kind of sci-fi-ish a little bit. And then the last one, which I believe Netflix bought the rights to, They're either making it a movie, which I hope they don't make it a movie and make it a TV show, which I would give anything for Jill to read. Is called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Ooh.
Jill, you would devour that book once you started reading it. So,
Is it low in carbs?
would you do? Yes. Would you?
Is
do an
paper a
audio-
carb?
Yeah.
Paper and carb.
Would you listen to an audiobook?
No, I can't pay attention.
Oh, damn
It drives Sean nuts. Yeah, I can't pay attention to audiobooks.
it. Molly, you might like it too.
Does she actually have 7 husbands?
It is coming to Netflix.
Does it say movie or TV show?
Movie.
No, they can't tell the whole book in a movie.
Doesn't mean it's
Not
going to be
gonna
one
work.
movie, Brian. Relax.
No, what they should have done was 8 episodes and 1 for each husband, and then 1 episode just purely about her. And I'm not spoiling anything. The husband with saying that there's the 7 husbands. It's literally, but there's more twisty turny stuff in there. So, yeah, give that one a shot. That one's really good. That book I read it because it was someone just recommended it to me as a good book. I had no idea that it was like LGBT type book, and then like got into it and was like, oh, this is really good. Twisty.
Juicy.
So
Well, more book information. Join Brian's book cult. You can do that on our Discord. $1
I
a
have-
month on the Patreon, and you'd be in on the cult.
We
So,
love those. We love those subtle plugs.
yeah.
I have tons.
I've been on fire with those tonight.
Yeah. There's so many good books, but I would like, honestly, books has become kind of like my media,
Hence the
whatever.
cult.
Yeah, for it. I don't know. TV and movies is like, it's there, but like, I think people are still a little bit afraid to tap into like how mainstream it is. Books, you kind of can do whatever you want. It's whether or not you want to buy it and read it.
Mhm.
So unless you live in Florida, but yeah, books.
All right. Anything that we missed that you guys want to bring up quickly? Any others before we start talking a little Star Wars Outlaws?
I mean, Star Wars books, Battle Scars was
I need to read that.
it was pretty juicy.
I heard.
I was not expecting hot lesbian sex in my Star Wars book, but I got it.
Is that the Jedi Survivor?
Yeah,
Prequel.
it's like the book that's in between Fallen Order and Survivor.
It's like Lion King 1.5, Jill.
I need to
But
read
it's-
that book just because of that scene.
Yeah, it's mostly like stuff with Marin and you know the other characters are in it too, but it's a lot of Marin.
We love a bisexual icon. Love it.
Speaking of Jedi Fallen Order or Survivor, I think I'm gonna actually stream tomorrow.
Ew.
I said that last Monday too.
My confidence is back. So
Yes, confidence.
I was going through some
Okay.
stuff before it now, but
Well,
I
you
think-
can't do it tomorrow, but you can do it Wednesday.
Why can't I? I was gonna do that like 12 in the afternoon.
Oh, I guess you can do it during the day.
Oh,
Do it
wait, are you
tomorrow, 'cause
doing
I'm
it?
streaming on Wednesday.
Okay, so I'll do it tomorrow. Then.
Molly's back to streaming.
Yeah, I have to do it before my mom gets home. Otherwise, you're gonna see like her just walking.
No, we love that.
We love that because we always go, Mom,
Mom.
I know.
Mom, where's meatloaf?
She
I'm
would
gonna make a
literally be like-
soundbite. I'm gonna make a soundbite where people can donate. And it says, "Mom, where's the
Mom, where's the
meatloaf?"
meatloaf?
She would literally be like cooking.
I'm
dinner
actually
in
gonna
the
work. I'm gonna
background.
work on that. That way,
Do it.
That'd be great.
I'll give money.
That'd be great.
Mom,
Yeah.
Mom, where's meatloaf?
All
I
right.
see Jordan's post here. It's actually Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, not Mercury.
Oh.
But in-
They were
There's two
cousins
things you
in
don't come for
American
Molly
years.
Damon on, and that's Sailor Moon and Buffy the Vampire.
Gordon, you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they were cousins
They
in
were
the
cousins
American
in the
version, which was
American
like, oh
version.
my god.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were cousins. Just like how, not even gay related, but in Pokemon, when Brock eats donuts, which are clearly just like meagery sushi. They're like, I love donuts. Like the American version, they were cousins.
Ah.
Well, Brian,
And-
you know, Troy. That's what happened as well.
What
So
part are you
Troy,
referring to?
Achilles' cousin in Troy
Yeah.
is
Oh,
actually
yeah.
is
Yeah.
actually his
Yeah.
lover in the story.
Yeah, and that's what I meant by like they were like bullshitting it and like. But
Why cousin? By the way, like why?
I know, like why
cousin?
can't they just be like friends? Like why?
Like,
but
we're
they
not best
still had
friends, or
they like still kind of kept the like sexual tension even though they're
But
related.
why?
now.
Like cousins
Yeah.
is weird. That's like a weird.
I know,
anyway.
like you could get
Yeah.
all cuddly with your friend, but like
Once I read that
Cousin?
book, it made me hate Troy because of like how they literally sidestepped that whole entire thing.
Well, it
Sailor
was in that
Moon
time
also
period,
had some
unfortunately, so.
characters that were I can't remember if they were men, and then when they transformed into their Sailor Scout, they were women, or if it was
Oh.
the other way around. But yeah, that was in like the very last season, which I don't even know if that one aired in America because they were like, well, we
probably
can't
not.
cover that up.
Heyo.
All right. Well, let's leave a little time for Star Wars Outlaws, and this isn't going to be a super lengthy conversation. More of like a reaction, initial thoughts on this brand new video game that we will be getting, open world Star Wars game, the first ever edition that we will be getting, following brand new characters in probably familiar but also brand new worlds. A whole new experience on this side of Star Wars. Obviously, I'll let the resident Star Wars nerd go first. Molly, kick us off. What did you think of Outlaws?
Oh, it's Molly. Okay.
Well, we're all nerds, but you know. Sorry.
I am super excited for it. We got to see some of the gameplay today, so we got a little bit of a sense.
You got to see it, or is it public?
It's
They,
public.
They did.
Oh, is
yeah.
it? Oh, I didn't
It's
see
public,
it.
yeah.
Ubisoft, however you say it, they did a big live show today, and it's at the very end. But it's still pretty rough.
It was released separately online, by the way, too.
Yeah. I'm excited about it though. A lot of people are like, "Oh, boo-hoo, it's in the original trilogy," but it's still like we're going to places like Kajimi, so we're getting sequel trilogy locations. It's all new characters. We're getting a commando droid in a trench coat that is super
So
hot, and everyone
dope.
is very
What is
attracted
the term
to.
for being sexually attracted to a droid?
Yeah. What is?
Because like
Is
I
this
don't know
what
yet.
Lando? Is
How
this what Lando
dare
sees?
how dare
Like-
they make that droid so goddamn attractive? Like
His
listen.
voice is hot too. I don't
Oh
like
god
it.
damn it!
It's yeah.
Oh
It's a little
man.
weird.
It's
God
yeah, it's gonna be good, I think. And
Choices
you know,
were made, and I'm not mad about it.
yeah, it's open world. It looks really cool. You know, you'll be able to go from walking around to the ship to flying to landing without it's a loading screen, but it doesn't look like a typical loading screen. It's just like you traveling in space. So they're
So,
getting
like,
a lot
hyperspace.
better. Yeah, they're getting a lot better at like seamlessly merging those types of gameplay. And the cat is really cute too.
I want the axolotl cat.
Everyone's talking about the cat.
My
Nyx
new obsession.
is
My
its name.
new life obsession.
Everyone's talking about the cat.
Damn thing.
Um,
If they don't sell plushes of it at Disney, I'm gonna sue.
I'm sure they will.
This kind of falls into our category too, because didn't they say she's a lesbian?
She's voiced by, I believe,
I didn't.
a
I
queer
didn't look into
POC
it, no.
voice actor. Correct me if I'm
She's
wrong.
POC.
please.
I don't know if she's queer. I can look it up.
I'm like
Just-
90% positive.
What's
Just
the
while we're
character's
looking that
name?
up, is it Vess? I'm forgetting
I
her
can't
name.
even remember.
Sorry, I thought it started with a V.
I think it does. Start with a V. There's a V somewhere.
I think it looks awesome.
Yes.
It looks really cool. I've
Maybe
talked about it
that's-
plenty of times as far as Star Wars that I love Underworld. You know, scum and villainy, just to use the term. I think it's such a rich place in Star Wars that doesn't really get touched on that much. We've gotten a lot of it recently, but we haven't gotten a lot of it in this specific time period. I love where it's placed after Empire. Obviously, we see the shot of Han in Carbonite, which is really cool. It's a time period that's been touched on, but it hasn't been touched on like a crazy amount. And then again, just all brand new characters. You know, seeing places that we've seen before but not seen enough of.
K-Vest
looks
is her
exciting.
name.
K-Vest.
And you
I said it on
okay.
Twitter. It's
That
gonna
was
be it'll be the game that gets me back into playing my Xbox. It'll 100% get me back.
Yeah,
into
until it drops probably like right when your child is born. It's like,
That's the best time to play. I'm gonna be holding him in one arm playing.
Can I
Okay.
steal your Xbox when they release Fable? Because it'll probably be Xbox exclusive.
I'll ship it to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ship me your PS5. I'll ship my Xbox.
Okay,
Wait.
the actress is Humberly Gonzalez, and she is.
I could just hear
Yes.
her. Really?
Yes, Gabby. Yes.
Really?
He's gonna have little headphones on and everything. It's gonna be awesome.
Little headphones.
No. Oh, get like little Yoda ear headphones.
It's gonna be great.
Yay!
Cute. Approve. Yes.
Oh,
You guys got me in trouble. That's okay.
Yeah.
Why is that? When did it? You're the one who said.
All three of you are as one.
What?
Curtis, you're right. I'm sleeping in this chair tonight, and it's absolutely.
It's in a comfortable chair though.
It reclines and everything. It's wonderful.
All right, you're
It's
fine.
great.
Kyla's taking your spot in the bed tonight.
Speaking of, hi, bud.
Hi, hello.
Where? Gabby sent me a picture today, and he was laying on her tummy.
There he is. Look at that big old
Hi,
noggin.
bear.
Look at that big old head.
Oh, the cuddle bear.
Pineapple
I'm
boy.
waiting
Say hi,
for.
Hi, Kylo. Kylo.
Who's here?
Hey, puppy.
Have you guys ever seen how he opens the
Blinds?
blinds with his nose to look out?
It's great.
It's hilarious. I think it's on
Actually,
Gabby's
hold on.
TikTok.
Yeah, let me bring it up. Hold on. Should be able to play it.
He's adorable. Yeah, you were right. Her name is Umberly Gonzalez, queer woman of color who has played multiple gay roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me
Until
a gay
someone
love.
tells me otherwise, the character is.
Unless told otherwise, I am accepting the fact that this character is queer.
Oh my gosh, the actress that voices her is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Plus,
Gorgeous.
Star Wars is gay. Just.
Star Wars is gay.
Okay, just quick sidebar. I'll show the video of Kylo. This is what he does when he hears someone outside.
The greatest thing
That was-
ever. She's saying, "Who's here?"
Hmm?
Oh my
He just knows how to do it.
It's so good. You can follow Gabby's TikTok, which is
my
where that is located.
God.
Yeah.
Precious.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. No notes.
Joe, look at the POV chat. That's the actress.
Brian, while we do any thoughts on the game as we start to wrap up here?
Oh damn.
Right? I am a dum-dum because I thought that this was going to be when I heard open world, I thought like online multiplayer open world. Yeah, like World of Warcraft essentially.
Oh no.
And so like I got super excited, like freaking out until I like it clicked that like it wasn't. But either way, like I really don't care. Like the more Star Wars video games, the better. Like I'm never gonna complain about a Star Wars video game. Well, that's not true. But like
Don't speak
these
too
types of
soon.
things. Yeah, well, because I was thinking of Star Wars. What was it? Remember that game that they were
Well,
promoting?
they released the trailer that everyone got super hyped about, and then
Eclipse?
a day
No,
later.
yeah.
Oh.
No, not Eclipse. I meant the one they were promoting heavily when we were at Celebration together. That, like,
Hunters?
Hunters.
Yeah.
I was like,
What a joke.
but yeah, but
Yeah,
no, I'm down. I think it's
being-
very interesting that we have a female-led video game for Star Wars. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
to me is the biggest deal.
Cry more, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, after we're probably going to get a whole trilogy of Cal-led games, and people are crying about this. It's so dumb. But yeah, I'm keeping my expectations very low for now, especially with the 2024 release date, because these things almost always get pushed.
Yeah. I'm saying 2025.
Same.
Like spring.
Did they say fall of 24 or
2024.
There,
Please wiggle
literally,
release.
think about it. a year from now is already June of 2024. Like this is an open world game.
That's why I'm saying
I
spring
just-
25. I think.
I don't.
And
see it.
again, I'm not a video game nut, so apologies. But aren't open world games usually like bigger in size?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
didn't Survivor already have big issues with size?
Yeah.
Eek. Eek.
I mean, Survivor to me is almost kind of open world also. So it's like
It's kind of
I
like
said kinda.
it gives you pathways at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Hmm.
But I mean,
This is gonna be like a Red Dead Redemption of Star Wars.
yeah. I mean, I'm down. I think like I said, like a female-led video game of Star Wars they've never done that.
Well, there was tons of women in like KOTOR, so I don't
That's
know.
true.
I mean, KOTOR, yeah, but I don't know. I'm down. I think give me stuff where there's no force too. I think that's kind of what's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that she's
kind
not
of
a
cool.
Force user.
Like we're finally
That we
doing
know
like
of.
yeah, like Molly, you saying how it's like GTA like type thing. I was like, that's kind of cool. Like to think like we haven't really like there's usually like here's a story, go get to the
Mhm.
end.
Yeah, I did think it was really cool that like when you get caught by the Empire, you're wanted, and so then you get a little wanted symbol, and it kind of like goes up, kind of like in GTA. You'll get more
Mhm.
5 stars, and the helicopters start to come after you. It's like that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. It'll be fun, I think.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Time will tell.
it'll be like it looks very similar to a lot of other popular games, and Ubisoft did Assassin's Creed, so if it's anything like that game, I'm sure it'll be wildly popular.
Assassin's Creed is pretty solid, so I mean there's like 100 versions of that game, so
Yeah, that's their biggest title. So
that video game actually has good queer representation in it. So video games is actually not that touched now that I think about it. Like because I was I'm trying to think of like playable or something like that, just where it's like this is a gay character. I can't really think of any.
Last of Us, but
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't played that many games, so I don't know.
yeah,
I mean,
can't be the judge.
You can come on Sean's Twitch because we've been debating how gay of a game Zelda is.
Oh, Link is for sure non-binary.
Link is
100%.
definitely not straight. Yeah.
Andy,
Link
you
is for
said
sure not straight.
I'm not familiar with Fire Emblem, but I have heard you say that before.
Fire Emblem's great. Yeah, Fire Emblem, and in 3 houses, like you can also make your character gay because you can choose your love interest. So I've done that a few times.
Animal Crossing, Flick is definitely gay. The guy
Yes.
that buys bugs from you.
Yes.
Flick. Yeah. Animal Crossing is just a gay game
Also,
in the
yes.
best way possible. Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up tonight's episode, everyone. Very lengthy conversation. Very good conversation, very fun conversation regarding a lot of properties. For anybody watching, hopefully you guys took notes because we mentioned
I'm going
a
to
lot of
post my
stuff.
list on Twitter.
Do it.
Yeah. You can check that out there. Maybe we'll talk about it more in our Discord. If you're interested in the Discord, check out the Patreon. Again, the Patreon isn't just Discord. It's a lot of different cool things going on in there. I mentioned both Bar Trivia and the Watch Along for the month. We'll be doing Book Smart and Love Simon for Bar Trivia. And then the Rocky Horror Picture Show will be one of the poll options for the
I'll
Watch
bring
Along.
props
Check
if you
that
vote
out.
Rocky Horror.
Check that out.
Me too.
No, there's one other one that I really want.
Yeah, we shall see. That's
There
up to
won't
the
be
Patreon.
props.
Ooh, I might do the
Um,
makeup too.
Oh my god.
All right, so some quick plugs before we wrap it up. Jill, where can everyone find you online?
Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's, Twitter and Instagram. I don't know if Sean's streaming tonight. Maybe.
No, he has
I don't know if
to.
he is. He better not.
Brian?
Bia Volcino, Twitter and Insta, and Apocalypse Movies tomorrow. Can I say what we're doing? No,
Sure.
Maybe trivia. I'll leave it at that. I won't say what kind, but trivia.
Okay. And then you're also going to be streaming Jedi Survivor.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I already committed to that. Yeah, I think I'll probably do. I don't know what's a good time for people though. I was thinking noon.
It's your time, Brian.
Noon.
Yeah, your time.
Whenever
noon.
is the best time for you, Brian?
Yeah. Well,
Whenever your
I'm
mom's
saying-
home.
No, she comes home at 4, and we're doing stuff. So
4 o'clock it is, everybody.
No. Let's go with for right now. Let's go with noon because that gives me more than enough time to sleep in if I just want to.
Okay,
So
perfect.
we'll
Hell
say
yeah.
noon tomorrow.
And Molly.
At Molly Damon on Twitter, Molly Mander on Instagram. Star Wars Explained. I am going to be continuing my Survivor journey on Wednesday. Normally we do Tuesdays, but we've got plans tomorrow, so I'll be streaming that on Wednesday. We're starting our Indiana Jones Lego set on Thursday.
Ooh, which one is it?
The Boulder.
The Boulder
Shh,
one.
Don't explain. Oh.
I think you
Spoilers.
gotta see the thumbnail that Brian Ward made for us.
Oh, I'm
is
so
I
excited.
can only imagine.
Chef's kiss.
I'm so
I
excited.
I wish I was
Only
as popular to
imagine.
have thumbnails made of me like that.
I can only
I'm so
imagine.
excited.
Jake, are you trying
Um,
to subconsciously like?
I feel like we're in the haunted mansion with the way Jake is like moving in his
I love
chair.
it. I might stream here from now on. This is cool.
Oh god, this is gonna give you like.
Hey,
a
I'll be
headache.
honest though. In my dad life, when baby boy does come, this is probably where I will be streaming. So
With baby on lap
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah,
little
possibly.
headphones on.
maybe we'll see.
Do it.
Wifey might knock that down, but
That's fine.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lashing.
It increases his social
speaking-
skills. It's fine.
Speaking of Indiana Jones, there might be something coming on this channel regarding Indiana Jones. Be prepared. Not going to say any more past that, but look out. Something very fun and interesting could be possibly coming. Before I get in trouble, I'm going to wrap it up. We are live here Monday evening at 6 o'clock Pacific. You can find me at Qui-Gon Jake, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Apocalypse Movies. And then again, I'm mentioning it for like the 70th time because we love having you guys. Patreon. Check out the Patreon. We have a great community over there, and we would love to have you guys aboard. So thank you again for watching, everybody. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, great rest of your week, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.